What's going on, friends? Harley-Davidson took away two of the best model lines in its history, and not only did they take those away from us, they lied to us about it, and it gets worse, just the fact that they lied to us, but they also started producing bikes that really nobody asked for. The replacements for these lines were just kind of absolute crap. I'm a little upset with Harley-Davidson now more than ever. Harley-Davidson eliminating the Dyna and the Sportster. Yes, I know this is some older news, but it's kind of what happened to it. And the reasons why Harley-Davidson said that they got rid of these machines wasn't what they told us on the surface. This sounds kind of funny coming from Harley-Davidson, but Harley-Davidson had decided that these models were old, outdated, and they weren't going to meet the next coming emission standards, even though they didn't apply to the American market. Harley-Davidson decided to change directions and decided to go ahead and try to start modernizing their models, which nobody really asked them to do, but they went ahead and did it anyways because corporate thought that was the direction they need to go. As with anything with Harley-Davidson, once they get rid of it, they really truly start to see just how popular it really was. But guys, the fact that Harley-Davidson lied to us, when you hear this is probably going to boil your blood just as bad as it did mine. Guys, please don't forget, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Harley-Davidson eliminating the Dyna line was a terrible mistake. Now, the thought on getting rid of the Dyna was that newer riders coming up were thinking these bikes were going to be too heavy, they were going to be underpowered, they were going to be antiquated, and so they decided to roll some of those models into the new Softail chassis. A lot of the market they were trying to target with the new Softail, a lot of these younger guys went out and got on Dynas. They want the old Dyna models, and that's where Harley-Davidson completely missed the mark. Now, the other reason for them eliminating the Dyna chassis was the fact that the Milwaukee 8 being rigid mounted, the Dyna frame just was not going to accommodate that new motor, and Harley-Davidson was making a complete shift into the Milwaukee 8 and leaving behind the 103 twin cam. I still miss the Dyna, but fortunately there are plenty of used Dynas out there. Now it's time for the part that's probably really going to piss you off. You love or hate the Sportster. Harley-Davidson eliminated it, which was probably their greatest mistake in all of history. Harley-Davidson originally told us that the Sportster was going away because it couldn't meet the Euro 5 emissions to sell these motorcycles in Europe. My first thought when I originally heard this was that, okay, they can't sell it in the European market, but they could still sell those here at home. Well, Harley-Davidson citing that is why they completely scrapped the Sportster and moved on. Now, you could thank the outgoing CEO for that because he wanted to modernize. And, well, we've all seen how well that's gone for Harley-Davidson and their sales. Now, you all know Harley-Davidson as well as I do. Anybody that encroaches on Harley-Davidson in any possible way, Harley-Davidson will sue the shit out of them till the end of the earth. They'll dig up somebody's grandma and sue them to protect Harley-Davidson's property rights, trademarks, interests, whatever, everywhere you go from there. Now, if you guys recall that shortly after the Sportster was actually discontinued, all of a sudden, there was a Chinese-made Sportster engine that popped up pretty much overnight. Now, I didn't think anything of it, along with a lot of other people, I'm sure, because they thought, well, you know, okay, that's really nothing new for Chinese manufacturers to copy everybody else out there. Pretty much all your Chinese motorcycles out there are a copy of an old Honda engine design. But here's the thing. That engine that China started producing, that is not a copy. That is a Harley-Davidson Sportster through and through 110%. Harley-Davidson didn't just give Shinrei, the Chinese motorcycle manufacturer, basically the rights to build it. They sold them everything. They sold them the production equipment, the blueprints, the plans, anything and everything related to the Evolution Sportster. It all got sold to China. Yeah, that's the part that absolutely crushes me right there, is Harley-Davidson completely eliminated any and all chance of the Evolution Sportster ever making a comeback in this country. They sold it all to China, and allowing China to actually produce these motorcycles free and clear of anything with Harley-Davidson. Oh, now hang on a minute. It gets even worse. China bought an Italian motorcycle manufacturer. And now, this Italian motorcycle manufacturer that is owned by Shinrei, however you say it, they are now producing a modern Sportster, the Stormbreaker 1200 by SWM. That is the Italian manufacturer that is owned by Shinrei out of China. And I got to looking at this. This is the more modernized Sportster that everybody would have asked for. This is basically what appears to be a Sportster 48 homologated to a Sportster 1200 Custom with the gas tank, 48 bars, 48 forks. I mean, the profile of the bike, I'll be honest with you, looks great. And the fact that they put dual front discs on it, that's something maybe Harley-Davidson should have done a long time ago. And they went a little step further with it. LED headlight on it, from what I could tell, a little more modernized design. And one thing that really caught me looking at some of these pictures of these bikes was the fact that the speedometer, the dash on this thing, it looks awfully close to what they're putting on the new Nightster. This is the old meets the new, and that is exactly what Harley-Davidson should have done here in the US with the Sportster, rather than going fully liquid cooled. Now, as I mentioned, this just kind of keeps getting worse. Now, this bike's produced in Italy, and guess where it's sold? It's sold in the European market. Oh, I thought Harley-Davidson said the Evolution engine could not be made to meet the Euro 5 emission standards. Well, all they did was lower the compression a little bit and put some different oil squirters to cool the pistons down. Voila! It meets the Euro 5 emission standards. And from everything I can tell, the engine still produces 60 horsepower, give or take. That is what the last version of the Sportster here in the US was putting out from the factory, was about 60 horsepower. And there are some reports that I've read that this motorcycle actually produces upwards of 80 horsepower bone stock out of the factory. Now, if that doesn't make you mad enough, guess what? They're also selling this motorcycle for about in US dollars, it comes out to about $10,900. Now, I don't know about you, but I would buy one. I would own one personally. But for about 11 grand, I can tell you right now, I would much rather spend that money on that motorcycle than the new Nightster that they have out there. I would take that one all day long. That is the modern version of the Evolution Sportster that Harley-Davidson should have built, rather than selling the rights, property rights and everything, the equipment, everything to produce it, and shipping it overseas. They should have built that right here and sold it at that price point. Because, like I said in some previous videos, I guarantee you all that tooling and everything was already paid for. Now, what I would love to see is that bike sold here in the US. But the problem is that they tried to sell that bike here in the US, just like if Harley-Davidson decided to go ahead and try to bring the Dyna back. I don't see it being possible because there is an absolute plethora of used Dynas and Sportsters out there that you could buy for dirt cheap over new. Plus, there's plenty of parts out there to rebuild those used motorcycles and keep them going for many, many years to come, unless you just wanted something brand new, and that's going to be very, very few people. What are your opinions, guys? Do you think Harley-Davidson made a really dumb mistake by selling all the intellectual property rights to China and allowing them to produce the Sportster, basically the American legend of Harley-Davidson, pretty much the longest production run of any motorcycle ever built, and letting somebody else have it on a silver platter? Literally sold them everything, even the equipment, everything they needed. They got it all. But anyhow, guys, let me know your opinions down in the comments. Do you think that was a huge mistake? And also, I want to know if you think they could actually sell that bike here in the US, and if it would actually sell better than the new Nightster they tried to give us. But anyhow, guys, that's all I've got for you this week. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. But till next week, guys, you stay safe on the streets, ride smart, dodge those cars. Catch you guys back here next week with a brand new video. Thanks for watching.